Hi, we're going to do the asterisk method today for factoring. As you can see, we've already used it. I'll put the quadratic on the board. 12x squared minus 5x minus 2. We got our A, our B, and our C from the quadratic, and we plugged it in. So the only two things that were left to find were our question marks. And once we found those, we were able to find the two binomials that are factors of this quadratic. So now let's practice. Here's our quadratic. 4n squared minus 15n minus 25. So let's go ahead and draw our asterisk. And you can always use the asterisk method. You need to find your A and your B and your C. So you can see that your A is 4. Your B is negative 15. Do not forget your signs. And your C is negative 25. Now you need to go in and multiply your A times your C. A times C would be negative 100. And put your B on the bottom, negative 15, and put your A's on the side. And remember what the A is, it's going to be the coefficient of your x terms in your binomial. So now let's write out and find out what those question marks would be. We find them by finding what will give us, what factors give us negative 100. Well, to get a negative, we know that one has to be positive and one will have to be negative. Well, let's just talk about our factors. Our factors for 100. Of course, 1 and 100. 2 and 50. 4 and 25. And 5 and 20. And we'll stop there. Okay, so there's our factors of negative 100. And remember, one of them has to be positive, one of them has to be negative. We're not really sure which one it is yet. So now that we have our factors, let's go to the second column, because the second column, we put our B. What's on the bottom? And it's negative 15. Well, which set of factors can be combined together to get negative 15? You should already be able to see that it's going to be 5 and 20. So when we look at these, we know that one's positive, one's negative. Well, to get to a negative 15, that's the bigger number is going to have to be negative. So we have a negative 20 and a positive 5. So now all we have to do is plug in our factors. Negative 20 and a positive 5. So with that, we can now look at them, and here, this one's already simplified. That fraction can't get any smaller. So we already know we can use that one. 4 over 20, we know that this actually can be reduced because 4 can go into 20. Keep your negative sign, so we'll have 1/5. And the negative stays with the 5 on the bottom. And now that this fraction is reduced, this one is ready to go as well. So now we have our two fractions that can be our binomials. Remember, the first one is the coefficient of x, so it's 1. We don't have to write the 1, it's assumed. The second number is the second term in the binomial, minus 5. Now let's go to our next binomial. Remember that the numerator for this fraction is the first term. It's the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x on this one is 4. And then the bottom is our second term. And it's a positive 5. So there's our two binomials. We're going to try one more. Let's try this one. 5n squared plus 19 plus 12. So once again, you need your A, your B, and your C. A is 5. B is 19. And C is 12. So let's plug in what we know. On the top, we multiply the A times the C, and we'll get 60. On the bottom is 19, and the A's are 5 and 5. So all we have to do is find those question marks. So let's go to our factor combine table. And so the first one we have to, what is the factors of 60? It's that top number. And remember, it's a positive 60. So since it's a positive 60, your factors are both positive or both negative, because you know that two positives multiplied together give you a positive, and two negatives multiplied together give you a positive. So then we just start writing our factors of 60. 1 in 60, 2 in 30, we can do, 3 in 10, 3 in 20, sorry about that, 3 in 20, and 4 in 15. And we're going to stop there. We can do 6 and 10, we can do more. But we're going to stop there for a minute, and we're going to go to our other side. And we're going to find which one of these can I combine to get to a positive 19. Well, if I'm going to do a positive 19, I know that both of the factors are going to be positive. So I'm going to look down my factors. Which one of these will get me to a positive 19? Well, definitely 1 and 60 are never going to get there. So I'm looking through, and I see that 4 and 15, if I did a positive 4 and a positive 15, that could get me to a positive 19. So my factors will be 4 and 19. So then all I have to do is I just plug them in. And I notice that 5 and 4, that fraction is reduced, so that one's done. 5 over 15, that one is not. I can reduce that to 1/3. So make sure that you reduce your fractions before you use them. So 5 can go into both of those, and we're reduced to 1/3. Here's the fraction we're going to use. So you can go ahead and set up your parentheses if you wanted. I'll do this one a little different. You know you have an x and an x. So that's everything we do know. What we want to know is how these fractions up here are going to help us. Well, the top number, remember, is the coefficient of x, so it's 5. The bottom number is the second term, so it's a positive 4. So add 4. And remember, this top number is the coefficient. It's 1. We don't have to write that. It's assumed. And the bottom number is the second term. So 5x plus 4 times x plus 3, those are your two factors of this quadratic. I hope this helps, and I hope you'll have a great day.